Hello friends, today we are going to talk about some of the contemporary issues in marketing. The topics that would be covered today are ethics in marketing, telemarketing, MCommerce, Emarketing, rural marketing and trends in retailing. Let us begin with the first topic, that is ethics in marketing. But before we start with ethics in marketing, let us understand what is meant by the term ethics. Ethics are the principles or rules that governs the behavior of human beings. They are generally referred to as what is right and what is wrong to do. So, definitely ethics is a subjective concept because what is considered as right to be done by one person may be considered wrong by some another person. So, ethics changes not only from culture to culture but also from person to person. Now, let us understand what is ethics in marketing. Ethics in marketing are the principles that regulate the practices of marketing. Ethical marketing decisions ensure that not only customers are treated well, but interest of all stakeholders also should get protected. But sometimes the marketers also undertakes deceptive practices in marketing. Those deceptive practices may include first, predatory pricing, that is selling of goods at a very low price in order to drive out the competitors from the market. Second, planned obsolescence, which means designing the products with limited useful life so that consumers are under a pressure to repurchase it again after few years. Now, let us understand the ethics related to 4 P's of marketing. Let us discuss the first P, which is product. Ethical concerns can arise in the development of products or services. Marketers are supposed to identify and satisfy the needs of their customers. Ethical concerns appear in the performance of products or services. Unsafe and poorly made products should not be included in the marketing activities. Pre-tests should be conducted to ensure safety of the products. Not only the product but also the packaging of the product can be considered unethical at times. For example, if the company sells a juice as lychee juice, though the ingredient label indicates that content of apple is more than lychee, then it is considered to be unethical. The next P that we will now study is promotion. A marketer should not overstate the performance of his product as it is considered to be unethical. For example, if the advertisement of fairness cream shows that it will make you fair within 7 days, but actually the results are seen in 2 months, then such advertisements are unethical. The marketing communication should not mislead the consumers and create myths in the mind of the consumers. The next P that we will talk about is price. Prices of the product should not be kept very high unless it delivers the value for money. The price disclosed in advertisement should always be realistic that consumers will find in stores. Artificially inflated prices of necessary consumer goods such as gasoline or basic food goods can breach consumers' ethical expectations as well. Setting different price points for different consumers for the same goods can be considered as unethical move and can land a company on the wrong side of the law and consumer sentiment. The odd pricing can also be questionable when it comes to ethics because when marketers resort to odd pricing, that is charging rupees 299 instead of round number rupees 300, consumers tend to associate this price with 200 rather than 300. The last P to be discussed is place. Placement of product can be questionable when it comes to ethics. Products are placed in such a way that it lures the customers to buy the product and thus may lead to wrong decisions at times. Large organizations take bigger shelf space in malls and other distribution outlets, trying to keep the smaller organizations out of the market. For example, chocolates are displayed at front of the shelf space in grocery stores so that children pressurize their mothers to buy chocolates for them. When an organization takes any marketing decision, then it should go for an ethics check, which stands for E for effect, which means does the decision harm anyone? T for transparency, does the organization mind if the decision is disclosed publicly? H for harmony with regulations, does the decision conform to statutory and self-regulations? I for interests, is the decision in the interest of the firm in the long term? C for consumers, would consumers consider the decision as fair? S for sovereignty, is consumers' purchasing sovereignty respected? After looking at the ethics check, now we will glance on the ethics related to marketing research. Generally, 3 parties are involved in marketing research. They are: first, the client who sponsors the project; second, the researcher who designs and executes the research; third, the respondents who provide the information. Ethical issues and considerations in marketing research are: first, information or data collected from respondents should not be used for any other purpose or for any other research work. In this case, the researcher plays a crucial role and he can assure respondents about security of the opinions and information given by the respondents. The researcher should not provide the confidential information to any other client. Second, the researcher should not force any respondent for the answers. Researcher can explain the importance or necessity of answers of that question for research work, but he or she should not compel respondents to answer a particular question. A good research can be done by requesting the respondents, but not by forcing them. Third, protection of data or confidentiality of data. The researcher or research organization should protect the data properly. They should keep confidential data or information very safe and secure. Any client or outside person should not have access to the confidential and important data from the organization. Fourth, in case of personal or sensitive questions, researchers should give time to respondents to think about it and right to refusal to participate in a study. Researcher or trained staff of appropriate gender should be used to reduce embarrassment. For example, suppose questions are related to female products, then it would be better to select a female staff to do the research rather than selecting a male staff. The fifth reason should be proper, unbiased and accurate information collection should be done. Marketing researcher should collect accurate information and report to the research organization and client without any bias. The researcher should check the authenticity of the information collected for research purpose. This is all about ethics in marketing and marketing research. The next topic that we will talk about is telemarketing. Telemarketing is the method of selling the product or services to the customers either by phone or by other handheld devices. It includes making the customers aware about the product, generating leads and selling the product or services to the customers. Telemarketing is a wider concept than telesales because it not only includes selling the product but also other aspects of marketing the product. Telemarketing helps the marketer to get the immediate response rather than waiting for the response as in the case of newspapers, magazines, television advertisements, etc. For example, Asian Paints has launched My Awaaz with a toll-free number through which dealers are called from Mumbai call center to place their order. And thereafter, the dealers can also check the status of their order through this toll-free number. Telemarketing also helps the marketer to identify the needs of the customers by having conversation with them. There are few steps to make telemarketing successful. They are: first, begin with introducing yourself. The salesperson should start by greeting and introducing about the company and himself. Second is to give the reference. If the recipient of the call has been a customer before, it is important to cite that history. Third, request for time. A tele-agent should always thank the prospect, like, "I appreciate you for taking my call." If the prospect is busy, an appropriate response would be, "Why don't I call you back in about an hour? Would that be all right with you?" Fourth, to give the purpose of the call. The salesperson should disclose the customer about the purpose of calling by providing more details about the company and its products or services. Fifth is to probe. Salesperson should try to establish the need or want of the product in the mind of the customer. This helps the customer to eliminate the fear of making a wrong purchase decision. Sixth is to restate. If the prospect does respond positively and is forthcoming with information, it then would be appropriate for the tele-agent to thank the prospect for sharing. An agent should say, "Thank you for sharing this information with me." Seventh is to give benefits and features. Once the agent is able to qualify the prospect's needs, establish his or her wants, and create the need for the company's offering, the remaining steps are smooth sailing. At this step, the salesperson might say, "Based on what you just shared with me, I recommend you to evaluate the benefits of our products," and then salesperson should again speak about the benefits of the product to excite the customer. The next step is to get a reaction from the customer. In order to confirm that you have fulfilled the customer's need, the salesperson should try to get the reaction from the customer by asking questions like, "How valuable is this information for you, sir?" The next step is trial close. The agent should attempt to close the conversation if the reaction of the customer is positive. But if the reaction is negative, then the salesperson should try to influence the customer by showing other benefits of the product. The next step is to handle the objections. If the customer makes some objections, then the salesperson should try to overcome it by interpreting those objections carefully. The next step is appointment close. Here the salesperson should thank the customer for giving his precious time and should set up a time to meet or send a sales representative. And lastly, the salesperson can ask if any additional information is needed by the customer about the product or service and close the sale. The next topic that we will now talk about is MCommerce. It is an exciting topic and MCommerce has changed our lives drastically. It has provided us with time-saving facilities. MCommerce is facilitating the customers with e-commerce directly into customers' hand via wireless technologies. MCommerce helps in, first, money transfer. Today, many companies provide the facility of money transfer from one person to another. One such example that can be recalled is Vodafone's M-Pesa. Second is mobile ticketing. Today, tickets are sent on mobile phones so that the user can have access to the ticket without carrying it in the physical form. The passengers can show the tickets in their mobile phones when they board the train. IRCTC would be an apt example which sends tickets via SMS to the users. Third, information services. It seems that mobile phone has replaced the need of laptops and computers when it comes to searching information on wide range of topics. It provides us information about current affairs, sports, new products launched, new technologies introduced in the market, etc. Fourth, mobile banking. Banks and other financial institutions allow their users to access the information about their accounts and customers and can also make transactions through their mobile phones. For example, the customers of HDFC Bank can check their account balance whenever and wherever they want to, rather than going to the bank and getting the entries of transaction done in the passbook. Mobile purchases is the next service. Today, e-tailers can accept the orders from customers via the mobile of customers. Mobile purchase has been increasing these days, which saves the time of the customers in shopping. For example, if a person wants to purchase a pen drive, then he can immediately search on his mobile phone on any of the shopping portal and place the order for it. The next and the most important and interesting topic for today's generation is e-marketing. The need to study this topic arises because we all know how important the internet is in our lives today. E-marketing is any marketing activity done online via websites or other online tools and resources. It refers to the use of internet or other digital media to sell your product or services. These digital technologies are a valuable addition to traditional marketing approaches regardless of the type and size of your business. E-marketing is also referred to as internet marketing or iMarketing, online marketing or web marketing. It can also be referred to as click and portal structure of selling goods. The e-tailers make aggressive use of e-marketing to beat their competitors. They not only give competition to sellers on internet but also to the retail shops. For example, LinkedIn has introduced a new feature for companies to engage with customers by posting a status update to share information about new products, promotional activities, etc. The customers can then share, like or comment on the update. Now let us have a look on the advantages and disadvantages of e-marketing. The advantages of e-marketing are: first, it has a wider reach as internet has become part of everyone's life. So, for whatever products you offer, there is already an existing market on the World Wide Web. E-marketing helps find new markets and potentially compete worldwide with only a small investment. Second, it is a cost-effective approach. A properly planned and effectively targeted e-marketing campaign can help business reach target customers at a much lower cost compared to traditional marketing methods. Reduction in cost through automation and use of electronic media, particularly in the areas of transactional costs, customer services, digital media channel, print and distribution. E-marketing helps in 24/7 marketing because with a website, your customers can find out about your products and make purchases even if your physical premise, that is brick and mortar, are closed or you don't have a physical premise at all. E-marketing has increased interactivity as it allows to create interactive campaigns using music, graphics and videos. Through two-way communications, interactive games or quizzes, you can engage your audience and give them greater involvement. E-marketing has increased ability to track result as it can easily measure the effectiveness of campaigns by obtaining detailed information about customers' responses to your advertising through the use of methods such as pay-per-click or pay-per-action, etc. E-marketing allows the customers to compare the prices of various sellers on the internet and choose the best product. These were some of the benefits of e-marketing. Now, we will look at the darker side of e-marketing. It has certain disadvantages associated with it. They are: first, it has led to elimination of many agents and middlemen in the trade because e-marketing provides for the direct contact between the producers and the customers. Second, it has led to decrease in the sales of the retailers who sell their goods only through physical premise. Sometimes the technology can create certain problems for the sellers when millions of users access the site simultaneously. For example, the big billion day campaign of shopping portal Flipkart in India wasn't successful because of some technical problems in the website. So, here we end the topic of e-marketing and let us begin with our next topic, which is rural marketing. The most interesting thought on rural marketing as given by C.K. Prahlad is, the future lies with those companies who see the poor as their customers. I hope so. This sentence would have given you a hint of what is called as rural marketing. Rural marketing thus includes moving the goods or services to the people in rural area to create satisfaction and increase the standard of living thereby. Rural marketing has many opportunities because rate of literacy level is increasing in the rural markets of India. There is an increase in disposable income and purchasing power due to initiatives like Manrega, that is Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act by the government. There is reduction of risk during recession because the demand in urban market is cyclic, but in rural market it is steady. There is a vast improvement in infrastructure like roads, telephone connectivity, electricity, etc., which creates opportunity for rural marketing. The rural market constitutes the maximum population, which is nearly 70% of the total population of the country. Today, there are various banks which provide loan and credit facilities in the rural market. So, companies like Unilever, ITC and Nestle have long been known to India's rural merchants. Among US firms, companies like Colgate and Gillette have also adopted rural marketing now. Colgate had to convince people to shift to toothpaste instead of using neem twigs to clean their teeth, which was the traditional practice. Parle offers biscuits in small packs which are priced very low. Let us look at the challenges faced by companies in rural marketing. Some of them are: the transportation facilities, which are essential for transporting the goods from urban areas to rural areas, are poor in villages. The penetration rate is low in rural areas as roads are not very well constructed. The rural areas do not have proper warehousing facilities which are required to store the goods till the goods are consumed. The media coverage is inadequate in villages, therefore the awareness level is low among the people. People in the rural areas are not willing to spend more on the goods as low purchasing power is there. The literacy levels in rural areas are low compared to urban areas, and also they have a lower standard of living in rural areas. The next topic that we will discuss is the trends in retailing. Retailing includes the activities involved in selling the goods or services to the final consumer for their use. Today, we are observing some new trends coming up in the retailing industry to enrich the shopping experiences of the consumers. Upcoming trends in retailing are: first, self-service. It has reduced the task of the retailers to a great extent. The products today are disclosed on shelves from where the customers can select it and put it on their shopping cart. The customer just has to pick up the goods and move to the cash counter to pay for it. This trend is generally seen in malls, supermarkets and departmental stores. Another trend is on packing and branding. Today, packaging and branding has gained a lot of significance in retailing industry because people are becoming conscious about convenient packaging and the brand they use. Branding is adopted by the retailers to differentiate themselves from their competitors. The next trend is about after-sales service. Today, selling not only involves delivery of goods to the buyers, but also the service they require to use that good or service. For example, in products like air conditioners, selling the good is not the final task. Rather, it also involves after-sales services like installation, demonstration and repair services. There is a trend of automatic vending machines in retailing. These are machines which can sell cold drinks, hot drinks, cigarettes, etc. They are often placed at malls and supermarkets. The customers put in the money into the machine and get the desired item out. These products are available all the time. The next trend is on shopping complex. Today, customers does not prefer to visit a single outlet. Rather, they would want to visit the complex with many different shops in it, where wide assortment of goods are available. The next trend is on e-commerce. Internet is used to a great extent to buy and sell the goods. It helps the sellers to come in direct contact with buyers and sellers at a very low price. Franchising is another trend. Franchising involves giving the right to sell the product to the other person under an agreement. Here the franchisor, that is who gives the franchise, trains the franchisee, that is who takes the franchise. Today there is a trend of electronic mode of payment. As most of the payments are done through the credit cards and debit cards, which reduces the risk of cash handling for the retailers as well as the customers. So friends, let's sum up today's discussion. We have talked on variety of topics ranging from ethics in marketing to telemarketing, digital commerce, trends in retailing and rural marketing. Ethics in marketing deals with the concerns companies should have for the consumers and the environment in which they conduct their business. Reaching out to the customers and selling the product or service through a telephone or any other handheld device comes under the purview of telemarketing. One of the emerging areas today is mobile commerce, which is e-commerce directly into customers' hand via wireless technology. We also discussed how marketers are today increasingly using websites and online resources for marketing activity. In India, there is a huge scope for rural marketing as the market size is massive and the rural market has characteristics which makes it both challenging and profitable. Also, we talked about how organized retailing landscape is emerging in India and the trends therein. Hope you found today's session very helpful and enlightening. Thank you so much, friends.